he learned a lot too yesterday.
Oh, I know it. I do think that. I mean, he really listened. He sat here listening and watching and listening and watching. You know, a lot of guys just don't really. And not that this is a criticism of Brian, but Brian didn't really put two and two together quite. And why would he? I mean, my husband doesn't either, so I'm not. There's nothing wrong with him, but
no, I get it. But
yeah.
That's why I'm so impressed
Yes.
with Jeff because he like.
Yes.
The other day we had Addison on the lunch line. You know, we're in the circle.
Yes.
And he just comes right in, comes into the circle with me, stands
Yes.
next to me. He's not a sideliner. You know, he's very much an active participator.
Yes.
Which I love.
True, but I think he's always going to come into the circle that you're in. Just saying. You could probably move your circle and he'd follow. But that's the kind of guy you want.
That's the kind of guy you want.
Doesn't mind stepping into your circle.
Right.
I'm not really complaining about my husband, but I'm not sure if he walked down here, he'd know who he was.
Oh, he does. He knows.
I know, but that's only in the last 5 years.
Yeah, all right.
For the first 25.
What's what I told Jeff.
He knows, because we're always kind of together in the morning, so he knows Lavenio and Cartero and.
He does, I'm kidding, but
Yeah.
still, you know, he's like, is that your horse here? Yeah, I think so.
Has he ever been up on any of your
No.
horses? No?
No.
No
I gave him
interest?
one riding lesson when I just started, and I made it so miserable that I don't think he ever wanted to
Oh,
do it
that's so
again.
funny.
I was so awful. Yeah, I was making him do all the exercises and not just.
Oh my gosh, he was probably like, heck no.
Oh, I know. No wonder he never wanted to do it again. Nicholas has been up, but he really had no big interest in it.
Well, the first time I rode in front of Jeff, and I stopped, you know, after I started, I was like, you ready to get up? I was like, yeah, I'll get up. I'm like, my gosh.
Did you put him up on that?
No.
Oh.
I was just teasing him, really, and he was ready to go.
All right, so what I want to do this morning is I want to pick a skill that we need to work on and then use that in a sequence. So you think about it while you're walking. Just make it. While you're walking, just walk and warm up a minute. Let me just call my brother.
What was that sequence that you were talking about yesterday?
I'm just calling my brother real quickly. Hi, Greg. Hi. Oh my God. So, okay. So what do you think our whole plan should be though? Is there any, what do you think? Did he say anything about that Mary? Oh, okay, so that's probably just a story. So, Grant, one other thing, and maybe the Baymont's better because it's in Howell, so it's not as close to me. But Sarah told me that the Red Roof Inn that you guys normally stay in is open to homeless people. I don't know if there's a reduction in rate or what, but she said that when they drove down, they must have gotten off to get gas there. And I don't know if there was a sign or I don't know how she knew. But so that Red Roof Inn in Plymouth might be, you know, there might be a place that's really cheap. And then I can work, again, I mean, I don't mind working on what to do with you. He just can't stay in the parking lot. That's all. But I can really stay in the parking lot. That's, you know, okay. So why don't you check out, well, that's what I'm thinking, because otherwise that's so close to me that he's just gonna pop back over here. Yeah, so Baymont, so there might even be a Red Roof over there, but yeah, whatever works out over there, and then, you know, I can help follow up on what else could be done, because it can't just be your total responsibility. Okay. Anything to do, okay, all right, all right. Yes, okay, all right, okay, sounds good. Okay. Right, it just is going nowhere. Yep, yes. Okay, for everybody, okay. All right, thanks, Graf, thank you so much. All right, bye-bye. Bye. Okay, so take a minute, finish a little bit your warm-up, and then let's talk about this, what skill we're gonna work on and what sequence. So Val is a little strung out. Cardi needs to come a little more commitment through the front. Good. Nice on Cartero. Now that's beautiful. Yes, that's good, Val. And then I'm going to talk a minute about connection. So think about your connection through your reins, through your body, into the horses, into the bit. Yes, good. So Francina, watch a little bit your left bend. Now Nancy, you're a little bit stuck in your back and your hand is a little backwards. So while he looks really good, you can make it look a little prettier. Yes. Better, Francina. So let's do this exercise the other way. Just when, you don't need to do so much with individual reins, Nancy, just back your legs and reach a little. He knows where to put his body. You don't have to remind him. You just close the starting gate and let him come to you. Yes, you can just round a little. Now you're kind of losing your 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And reach. It doesn't have to be firm. It just has to be staying in the tempo. Get this out of the way. Yeah, good. The heels down, Nancy, heels down. So your outside bends, when you go back to your right bend in this, they're a little faulty. Good, now in on Val, left bend, right bend. Good, that's not quite in the right place. Yeah, do one more. So in the top of your loop is directly across from E. A little bit more forward. Good, better. Yes, right bend, now left bend. Good, it's good, Nancy, good. And now transition to walk. Both riders transition to walk. Good. Just shove your spurs down a little so they don't poke up at them.
Okay.
Yeah, and the other one So I was talking about in the other class about connection.
Yeah.
And I was saying that there is it's a weird thing to say, but that it's a connection of energy, but it's really kind of, I don't know what other word to use. And what it is that the horses are really attuned to movement because that's how they survive. Like if something moves over there in the corner, they know it. If something touches like a fly touches them, they're quivering. So movement on top, and you're in the perfect place to be having movement means something because being a prey animal, this is right, where you're sitting is where the lion would get them.
Yeah.
So they know about that area genetically.
Yeah.
So it's your movement more than anything else. The words and the words specifically are not, they're learned, okay? So if you cluck or say yes, that's a learned response. It means nothing to them if I were to just say it.
Right.
So your body, the energy of your body is what builds connection with them. It doesn't necessarily build their energy, it builds connection. You have to create energy with your actual aids. But if you think about your aids as your whole body has to connect to the horse's whole body. So you have to think about that when you're riding because the energy is going to flow through you to the bit. And then in actuality, it feels like to the rider that it flows out the bit. Okay, so it doesn't stop here, it keeps going past the bit. So your body has to keep a movement and a force to it, not a strong force, but that keeps carrying them out the front door. And many times when the rider does a movement, like the loop, or shoulder in, or leg in, they forget about that part. They disconnect. So they're doing a movement, and all of a sudden the reins are not solid anymore, and the position isn't that great, and the horse is like, what? I'm not on the bit anymore. Did you notice?
Yeah.
They don't know what to do when that connection breaks. So then there's a break in their thinking, and you can see every single one of them. When that break happens, you'll get a change in their face and their eyes. They don't really get it for those seconds. You reconnect, and they're back happy again. But you want to minimize the number of disconnects, okay? You want to have yourself always staying connected. So that's why you have to prepare for your movements so that, like, if you're coming around for shoulder in, you don't drop them and say, oh, now you're coming around and you're thinking, oh my God, I have to do shoulder in. Okay, well now you're not connecting. You're thinking about it, and your body's not doing it anymore.
You're too far ahead.
Yeah, and and you also go into a different place in your own thinking instead of feeling a connection into the shoulder in. Now, some of that is a learned behavior for the rider. Unless you know shoulder in really well, you have to think about it. And plus, then I'm saying more angles. So you have taken my information, plug it into your brain, plug your brain into your energy to get it. So when I'm teaching you, nothing has to be done in a split second. I mean, I can tell you if it was early or late.
Yeah.
But you don't need to take my information. That's why I tried to make it sound like chanting.
Yeah, no, that's great.
So that it doesn't disrupt your thinking. It just feeds you information. And if you don't get it, I don't care. I'll say it again. And I'll just keep saying it until you get it. Or I'll stop you and say, well, let's talk about this. So the way I teach you has to be the way you ride them. You chant to them, okay? You say,
I like that.
yeah, you go,
That's very calming.
shoulder in,
soothing.
shoulder in, shoulder in,
Yeah.
shoulder in. 1, 2, 3, 1,
Yeah.
2, 3. That's why I count everything.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with, I count the steps. I can't go up the driveway without counting the steps. Like,
So
what is wrong
funny.
with me?
You're obsessed.
Every single time I come down the stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why? I don't mean to do it.
Yeah, you're just
From
so
dancing.
It's from dancing. And
Oh, yeah.
it just, you count count everything, because as a dancer, you have to count the rhythm of each stanza of
yeah,
music. So, anyway, counting is just crazy for me, but, so anyway, that's just the idea, okay? We need to kind of,
Chant it.
yes, you need to kind of chant to the horse.
Yeah.
So that nothing comes as a surprise.
Yeah.
Because they can't really handle surprise. Well, you know how they handle surprises. They go, what?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah.
What's your problem?
Yeah.
You know, they get all discombobulated because they are counting on, they're very rhythmical too. You could almost say that they're counting all the time. So plug into their counting. Right.
So I gotta tell you too, Jeff said he loves your hair. He goes, I love her hair.
Oh.
I knew you two would get along because I'm like, they're both redheads.
Yeah, I
They're
know, he
really
was
good.
a redhead.
Didn't he say something when he came in? Oh, you're a redhead too. Or
He did
something?
call me a redhead.
I
yeah.
know. I was like, he goes, I just
Oh, that's so sweet. I know. My hairdresser does a great job. Actually, no, my hair was auburn, my natural color. It wasn't as light as this, but
Yeah.
the darkness doesn't look so good when you get older.
Right. Mine was more auburny too.
Yeah, it is. And mine was real auburn. I mean, it was really red. It wasn't as red as this, but it was.
Yeah, like his is kind of darker.
His is
red.
darker.
Yeah.
Nick's would be red if he grew out. So when you have
Yeah.
really short hair, it
Right.
looks darker.
Yes.
And I think Gabriella has red hair,
Yeah.
and she has blue eyes. She is a gorgeous child. I mean, I mean, even if it weren't my granddaughter, I mean, I look at the pictures and say, wow,
Yeah.
I could be out in a movie
Yeah.
or on a commercial.
Yeah, on a commercial or something, yeah. All right, so
All right,
chanting,
so,
we-
so now what, but let's, again, so let's prepare. What exercise, what skill do we want to work on? And then we'll put it in a sequence. So think about your test
My
stuff.
worst skills, shoulder in. I have to do the shoulder in the half pass, and I never get my shoulder in.
All right, so let's work the skill of the shoulder in. Now, before you go, what do you think is your biggest problem? Just let him have his head while he's standing still.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I was.
I know, well, we're still gonna
My
talk.
biggest problem is I do think and prepare, but I never get it.
You never
so-
hit it on the right,
I never get it off the track enough. Because I'm thinking, okay, Cardi knows how to do this, so I don't wanna, I don't wanna do too much, it's so, yeah.
okay.
And I think I go off the track too much.
All right, so we have to nail our entrance, let's put
Yes,
it that way.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So, because if you miss it at the entrance, you're scrambling
Yeah.
to find it. So,
we just start in the corner.
so I indicate to the horse that he's going to be making a shoulder in because I increase inside flexion as I come through the corner. I'm not necessarily putting it into shoulder in position already, but I'm indicating to him, we're not gonna go straight, just so you know. And so we come around the corner, and now so you have to remember that if you are not getting them off enough, you need more outside rein and less inside leg. Okay, and then you can also be thinking that your inside leg pushes the outside front leg down the track, straight down the track, because that'll keep your inside leg forward enough. If you connect your inside leg to your front end of the horse, rather than to the back end, it will stay in the right place. When you think about, oh, I have to use my leg to get shoulder in back here, not that you don't ever, and you might find that you do have to, then your leg can stay back slightly. But if it is that, if you're coming around and you use too much inside leg, one of two things happen. You're not going to get the shoulders off enough because the leg is back here a minute. If you end up pulling the shoulder enough and you still have your leg too far back and too strong, you're going to get the haunches to turn.
Yes.
So
That's what I do.
Yes.
So now I've been really thinking of my outside leg to put it back a little bit to hold her haunches.
So your outside leg keeps the haunches from falling out.
Out, yes.
you wanna do it once at walk?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
okay,
yes.
all right, let's do it at walk.
Okay.
All right, let's try that again. And make Val a little rounder. Yes, and now the haunches are going too much on Val. Yeah, so too much. Left leg more forward. Yeah, and yes, and push the right front leg down the long side. Little more angle on Cartero. Right leg back. Yes, that's better.
Yeah. So that was a good talk through of shoulder egg, because that's exactly what I do wrong. I
Okay.
put too much inside leg, and then I'm a mess.
Okay. Good. Good. Turn your position slightly. Yes. Turn your position slightly. More. Yes. Yes. Turn your position. Yes. 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 Good. So, that's very good. I think you need to have that turning of your position.
Yeah.
And Francina, turn your position. Turn it. Yes. And right leg back. And right leg back. Yes, better. Think about the right front on her. And right leg back. Yes. 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 Yes, good. Both riders. So, just finish that, and then you can straighten, and I just have one more thing to say.
That was really helpful about sending that outside
Front forward.
down the
Yes.
line.
So, another thing, and just thinking about how I prepare for shoulder in. I do this little bit of added flexion down this way for a second. And then, what I was telling both of you here, see, I just go like this. And my legs just stay.
Well,
I know, you make it look like it's just like that.
Yeah, of course you do. You just
And-
go like this, and your legs just go like this.
And I've watched videos of you over and over and over again, and
Why
somehow
can't
when
you
I
guys-
just do that,
Yeah,
I'm.
why can't you guys just do what I do? I just do like this, and then it almost like that, and everything's good.
Here I am,
Yeah,
I'm
I
like
know.
this.
Oh,
I just go like this. My legs go like this.
I take it back.
But
Oh, that's funny.
that worked really well, kind of talking through every aspect, because
Yeah.
that is like my inside leg. You know, I keep, like you say more, more angle, so I'm doing my inside leg.
Yes, and that's actually
And then I
pushing
get
you.
really tight.
Yes,
Yeah.
more angle means bring the shoulders
Off the track.
off the track.
Yeah.
More outside rein, less inside leg.
But
So-
you said that, you bring them over with, like this should be obvious, right? With the
Yeah,
the
outside
range.
Yeah.
But I'm using more leg than outside range.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So
That's
remember, shoulder in comes from the outside rein. The
Shoulder comes from the
shoulder in, and so if you turn your position, so just do this. What's the matter? Yeah, you just do this. So you bring the shoulder and you just sit there.
You just sit there and look pretty.
And but that's all the amount of inside leg that you put on, is sort of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Turn, that will put the inside leg on slightly, and that's probably all you need. So it's not a big inside leg movement with a horse like this. So let's have training the baby. Like Morante, okay?
Yeah.
Morante going left is like,
Yeah.
gorgeous horse, what are you doing? And so I have to go, no, and I use inside rein. I mean, I'm struggling to get him to go into position. But he doesn't know it. I mean,
Right.
he knows somewhat intellectually what it's like, but he doesn't know it. He doesn't know physically, oh yeah, that's so good. Now, the thing that will happen is, yes, he knows it, but he is, your aids mean way more to him than what he knows. Because you might be wanting something else, and he doesn't know what it is, he's just listening to the aids.
Yeah.
So they start going into whatever the aids are telling them. So they'll give up what they know if the aids say something different. So again, so that's where these two are, because they both know it. He probably knows it better, he's older, he's done it more, but she kind of knows it. But then if you put her in the wrong position, she thinks that's it too.
Yeah, right.
They don't stick
They're
with,
going with our
they will
guidance.
go with you, they don't stick with what they know.
Yeah. Should we
All right.
switch direction? Yes.
Yes, please, and we're gonna walk again. Because even if you get it at walk, it will help you. If you can't get it at walk,
Right, if I can get enough forward momentum and he's
well,
doing it right.
true,
But I could feel,
yes,
I
yes.
could feel that I was doing it right.
He automatically, like, came under himself just that much.
That's
more,
right,
like, didn't
that's
feel
right.
his
It's
flat.
like you open the door for rotation of the hindquarters. All right, so let's do them to the right. Good, bring the shoulder, you almost have too much right rein. Yeah, straighten up his neck a bit, Cardi. Yeah, let him go up to the right, so yes, yeah, put your right hand down and let it go forward a little. Yeah, that's okay, think Ron Bear a little this way. Yes, good, good, up, yeah, so then the right leg went way on, so now she's really responding to too much right aid. So when they fall into the wall, too much, too much, if they're falling down, you didn't use the right aids. Oh dear me, how funny. Good. Now he's crisscrossing behind, you should feel that too. Yeah, don't let him crisscross. Yes, good, up on the right. Yeah, let your right hand come forward, whoops, crisscross. Yes, good. Make a little more room for the right hind. Yeah, that was pretty good though. Yeah, too much right rein.
Okay.
Remember, shoulder in is left rein in. Better, Francina. Watch this way they don't fall through the left rein. Yeah, better. Don't pull that right hand over. You have it. Yeah, keep the left rein. Keep your right hand to the right. Keep your right hand to the right. To the right without pulling back. Nancy, don't pull back. Don't pull back. You don't need more bend. He doesn't have his shoulder off enough. Yes. He is way too much shoulder in. You guys are going right back into what you told me you were going to do. Too much for her, not enough for him. Again. Now sometimes at walk it is a little harder because there's a little lack of impulsion. Good. Just think right hand forward. And let him walk a little. That's very good. Now it's crisscrossing. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, don't make him crisscross. Yes, good. All right, straighten up. Good. And long range for a minute for him. Let me do Val. One more time, Val.
Good boy.
Push the spur down.
I gotta get my boots back. Other boots have that thing.
Yeah, that's better. Okay, Valencia. Yes. 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 left leg, whoopsie, so now it got kind of mixed up. And that comes a little bit, and I have too much angle. That comes a little bit from holding the front. So, okay, so let's talk about that. There's so many pieces to this. Shouldering is so difficult.
Right.
So, sometimes what happens is you get into the right shoulder in. Okay, that's all well and good. And then you have trouble maintaining that and only that.
Yeah,
So the horse is really also ready to fall off the aids.
yeah.
So in a way, you have to keep opening the front door. It's motivated from the back end. So watch that the reins don't, so let's say they do 10 steps really well, and then they start wobbling.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, it's because the rein was no longer receiving the forward motion, it became blocking.
Blocked, okay.
So then they fall this way or that way because the forward motion
So they're
has
blocked,
no,
so they
it
have
has
to
no
wait. Yeah.
a front door to keep going
Yeah.
out. Because when you get into lateral work, it's hard to maintain the front door, okay? Because your aids are blocking to a certain extent to get the lateral position
Yeah.
at all. But then then the horse can lose their forward momentum. So that's usually why you have it really good and then it starts to disappear. They've lost the forward momentum of how to stay into the front, out the front door. So, or you could say they get behind your leg, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Their motivation has gone back here rather than staying up and out in the shoulders.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, so if you are doing too much right rein, you're blocking the forward go. So then they start to go sideways-ish. And then you get this kind of stuff. He crisscross, then they fall out and in. And so the energy of the horse is no longer going out, like a hose,
Yeah.
right out their face. All right, so try to trot.
Yeah, let's try to try.
Shall we reverse?
Yeah.
So make one long side of, and just establish the trot you really want. Yes, nice. And you can think, I won't give you more to have to think about. Think about what you're doing. Good. So now just a little indication with the left rein that it's going to be a turn, but now it's the right rein that brings her off. No, yeah, good. Better, 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 better. Super! Really good. More angle, more angle, more angle. Yes, more angle, more angle. Yes, but good. Again. Yeah, left leg not too far back. Yes, good, good. One more, 3 times the charm. Yes, yes on Cartero. Yes, yes, very good, very good. You can walk. Oh, no, do one more for your own sake. He's fine, but do one more. He can do one more. I'm sorry, Val, Francina, one more. More, more. Perfect. Yes, Cardi, now you can walk. Yes, better. Not so far your left leg. And then walking. All right, okay, one more, Francina. I mean, I don't know who I'm talking to. All right, walking. Very good, okay? Very good.
Walking through it?
Yeah,
helped
walking
a
through it.
lot.
I think so
The
too.
walking
Yeah,
helped.
getting every piece right.
Yes.
The walking through it really
The
helped.
walking through helps. So one of the things you can do, which I often do as warm up, in my walk in the beginning, is I walk shoulder in, travers, half pass. And you do it every day at walk. You you start working it in your mind, working it in their mind, and I always put it right at the beginning because they have to walk a bit to start.
Yeah.
And it's a really good suppling exercise.
Yeah.
So and we'll just add that in.
Yeah.
You know, it has to be at a point where the horse actually knows it, but they do know it. They know half past it, so it's not a problem for these guys. One of the other things you can do, and I saw this on Pantina's farm, so you can also know that you have too much. So the shoulder itch, if you're collective, boom, 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 boom. If you get into it and they start to feel like they're half and medium, they're not collected anymore.
Okay.
So your inside leg was too much forward.
Oh,
So it can be too much lateral.
yeah.
Or it can press the trot out.
Okay, yeah.
So it's getting
Just a
the
finesse.
exact
That's
right
a
amount.
finesse.
Yeah.
The exact right amount. Let's go the other way. And when you're ready, yep, good, and trotting. Keep connection, remember the flow. Excellent, excellent. Very good, very good, very good, very good, very good. All right, let's see it once more so it wasn't a fluke. Good, good, good. Super, super, Francina. Yeah, a little bit less trot, a little more collection. Yes, good, good, yes. And once more. Yes, 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 keep it, yes, yes, very good, yes, don't get too big, yes, very good, very good, very good. All right, walking, ladies, lovely. So that really, really helped. Those were so much better,
Right?
so much better.
And it was light and flowy. It felt
Yes,
100% better.
yes, you can
It felt like I was almost sitting there like Ann does.
yeah.
We got it. We were just sitting there like.
You
okay.
were just sitting there, and I could see you both going,
I
I don't want to disrupt this. She hasn't said that it's wrong yet.
Yeah, exactly.
She didn't say anything. It must be okay. I'm staying right here. Staying in my lane.
I could feel it. The
Yeah.
total
No, you could see a definite change in movement of the horse.
Yes.
And I can really feel it with Cardi, like when I come off of it, it's like I can feel, I can feel the
When you
short
finish
side.
it, yes,
Yeah.
you can feel the result of it.
Yeah.
Yes, and they can feel it as well. And then here they get this more swingy kind of gait going.
Light. Swingy, flowy light.
Yes, yes, and I know that feels better to them. They tend to, no, I don't know that at all. But it's a relaxation that you've created in the back of the horse.
Yeah.
And that allows the movement to become really swinging and beautiful. But it is so again, and this is just how to ride a horse at all. If you are fussing, they do not relax because they're trying to read every aid that comes.
Yeah.
If you are smooth and think you have it, then their back relaxes. Their mind relaxes too, but it's really, we don't want them to be like, oh yeah, well, I'm so relaxed, isn't this nice? But we want them to be like, I'm really on.
Yeah.
And my body is
Yeah.
really swinging. It's in a relaxed swing. It's not relaxed like you're done with the exercise.
Yes, right.
So then you can really see that level of confidence in the horse, between the horse and rider.
Yeah.
The horse starts to really say, well, I think I'll really listen to what she's saying because look at how well that went.
Right,
You know, nobody was fussing with me,
Right.
so I'm gonna go right there and stay there.
Yeah.
And,
It's the rider, too.
yeah, yes, and then the rider feels the same way. When you're not going, is it too much and not enough, too much, not, then you just sit there.
Yeah.
Like you said, then it's just, here I am,
Yeah, just like you told us.
just like I said, just do that. Lovely. Do you want to just stop with them on
Yeah,
that?
I want to have that in my mind.
Yeah.
I think that was great.
That was great.
I
So,
struggle so much with shoulder in, like I want to,
well, and,
I got to go get the menu.
Okay.
What?
I want to see you ride the menu.
what?
I want to see that. You're gonna ride, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to London first, so.
Okay, good. I'm gonna walk her out into the, outdoor ring for a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna start that warm up at the wall, like it.
Do that, yeah.
So much.
Yes. Now what we'll do, so now stick with your walk, stick with just your shoulder and maybe into a 10-meter circle.
Yeah.
But we will go through every movement like this.
Yeah, that's great. Yes, that really was just
Yes,
tremendous.
yes. And you know, because I think that before we put things in sequence, like in a test, you have to have your skill.
You have to
to have your shoulder in and know what it is. Now maybe it works and maybe it doesn't, but at least you know what it is you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And then I'm happy. And then we can put 2 things together, then we can put 3 things together. But you go from one skill to the next skill to the next skill.
Building blocks.
It's building blocks, and you will feel much more comfortable in the show ring if you have your skills.
Yes, exactly.
Again, anything can happen. Your horse could jump out of the ring.
Yeah.
But you go in with the skill. You go in presenting something. You're not in there saying, well, what do you think of this, Judge?
Right, yeah. No, it makes total sense.
Yeah, no, lovely. Yeah. Hi, Karen. I'm good. So, she just got in the trailer and on her way. Okay. Not from the shipper. Okay, no problem. Okay, so Karen, one thing, if they're using GPS to get here, which they probably are, the GPS, well maybe, I think Alicia may have fixed this because people haven't been having the same problem, but it used to be that GPS took it into the gated community next to me. Okay, good. It's fixed it. Okay. And then the other thing is, if they are, so if they have a full load, do you know how big that full load is? Do you know what kind of, is it a semi? Okay, so they, if they come out, they won't be able to get it through my driveway. So what they have to do is, if they come out on both sides, you know, if they can if they can exit on either side or the back, they will have to end up parking on the drive, up at the top of the road, and we will meet them, and then they can park up there until that horse gets out. That's how C&W does it every time. Everybody does it like that. Brookledge did it. But we just have to sometimes tell them in advance so that they don't turn onto 6 Mile from the wrong direction if they can only unload out one side. Yeah, so. And if he, yes, and if he wants to ask me, he can, if there's any question as he gets started to us. Because if you talk to him, if he just has one exit on a side, ask him which side it is, and then we can tell him which way to come to us. Absolutely, absolutely. If there's any questions about, oh no, absolutely. Any time of night, day, whatever he needs, we will get him into the right place, because that's the only safe place for Stella to come out. Now sometimes they are going to back out the back, and then they just pull up alongside the horseshoe. You know, if it's not too big, but most of the, you know, I can take in as big a truck as